Cat adopts lost chick, but what happens next will melt your heart. Agnes, a woman with a lifetime etched onto her weathered hands and a twinkle in her eyes that belied her 80 years, hummed a cheerful tune as she kneaded dough in her cozy Vermont kitchen. The aroma of yeast and cinnamon filled the air, mingling with the scent of pine needles wafting in from the nearby woods. Outside, the first snow of winter dusted the rolling hills, painting a picturesque scene of rural tranquility. Her farmhouse, a sturdy structure built by her grandfather generations ago, creaked with age and whispered stories of a life well lived. Agnes, a widow for the past decade, found solace in the familiar rhythms of her daily routine, tending to her small vegetable garden, knitting warm scarves for the upcoming holidays, and sharing quiet evenings with her faithful companion, Whiskers. Whiskers, a sleek Siamese cat with sapphire blue eyes and a regal demeanor, was more than just a pet. She was Agnes's confidant, her furry shadow, and a constant source of comfort in her solitary existence. The cat, curled up on a sun-drenched windowsill, observed the falling snow with a detached curiosity, her tail twitching rhythmically. Agnes, her hands dusted with flour, paused to admire the winter wonderland outside. "Looks like we're in for a blizzard, Whiskers," she remarked, her voice a gentle murmur. "But don't you worry, we've got plenty of firewood and enough yarn to knit a scarf for every snowman in Vermont." Whiskers, in response, stretched languidly and blinked her sapphire eyes, a silent acknowledgement of Agnes's words. The cat, despite her independent nature, possessed an uncanny ability to understand Agnes's moods, offering a comforting purr or a gentle nudge whenever Agnes felt a pang of loneliness. As dusk settled over the farm, casting long shadows across the snow-covered fields, Agnes prepared a simple supper of homemade soup and freshly baked bread. Whiskers, her appetite piqued by the enticing aromas, rubbed against Agnes's legs, a gentle reminder of her own culinary expectations. After supper, Agnes settled into her favorite armchair by the crackling fireplace, a well-worn book in her lap. Whiskers, true to form, curled up on Agnes's lap, her soft fur a comforting weight against the chill in the air. The wind howled outside, rattling the windows and whistling through the eaves, but inside the farmhouse, a sense of peace and warmth prevailed. Agnes, lost in the pages of her book, occasionally glanced at Whiskers, a smile gracing her lips. In the quiet companionship of her feline friend, she found a contentment that transcended the solitude of her life. The storm raged through the night, shaking the old farmhouse to its core. Agnes, nestled beneath a patchwork quilt, listened to the wind howling like a banshee, the rhythmic patter of rain against her windowpane a relentless lullaby. Whiskers, nestled beside her, purred a soothing counterpoint to the storm's fury, her presence a comforting anchor in the turbulent night. Dawn broke, revealing a world transformed. The snow had vanished, replaced by a glistening sheet of ice that coated every surface. Broken branches littered the yard, and the old oak tree that stood sentinel by the barn had lost a limb, its gnarled form a testament to the storm's power. Agnes, bundled in her warmest coat, ventured outside, her breath forming frosty clouds in the frigid air. The devastation was greater than she had anticipated. The storm had ripped through her carefully tended garden, leaving a trail of mangled plants and uprooted vegetables. The chicken coop had lost a portion of its roof, and the hens huddled together, their feathers ruffled and damp. As Agnes surveyed the damage, a faint chirping sound reached her ears. It was a delicate sound, almost lost in the wind, but it piqued her curiosity. She followed the sound, her boots crunching on the icy ground, until she reached the overturned wheelbarrow near the barn. There, nestled amongst the scattered hay, was a tiny chick, its yellow fluff damp and matted, its eyes wide with fear. The chick, no bigger than Agnes's thumb, chirped pitifully, its tiny body trembling with cold. Agnes's heart melted with compassion. The poor creature must have been separated from its mother during the storm, lost and alone in the harsh winter weather. She gently scooped up the chick, its fragile warmth a stark contrast to the icy air. "Oh, you poor thing," she murmured, her voice filled with tenderness. "Don't worry, I'll take care of you." She carried the chick inside, her footsteps quickening as she sought the warmth of the farmhouse. Whiskers, alerted by the commotion, watched from her perch on the windowsill, her blue eyes fixed on the new arrival. Agnes settled the chick in a makeshift nest lined with soft cloths near the fireplace. She fetched a dropper and some warm milk, gently coaxing the chick to drink. The chick, weak and exhausted, pecked feebly at the dropper, its tiny chirps growing stronger with each swallow. Whiskers, her curiosity piqued, hopped down from the windowsill and approached the chick cautiously. She circled the nest, her tail twitching, her sapphire eyes studying the tiny creature with a mixture of curiosity and suspicion. Agnes, observing the interaction, couldn't help but smile. Whiskers, despite her aloof nature, had always possessed a maternal instinct, often mothering stray kittens or injured birds that found their way to the farm. To Agnes's surprise, Whiskers, instead of dismissing the chick as an unwelcome intruder, began to nuzzle it gently, her purrs rumbling like a gentle motor. The chick, seemingly comforted by the cat's warmth and attention, snuggled closer, its chirps softening into contented murmurs. Agnes watched this unlikely pairing with a sense of wonder. In the midst of the storm's devastation, a new and unexpected bond had formed, a testament to the resilience of life and the surprising connections that can blossom in the most unexpected circumstances. Agnes watched in amazement as Whiskers, the epitome of feline independence, transformed into a nurturing caregiver. The cat, who usually spent her days napping in sunbeams or chasing butterflies, now dedicated herself to the well-being of the tiny chick. She would curl her sleek body around the chick's makeshift nest, providing warmth and protection. She would groom the chick's downy feathers with meticulous care, her rough tongue surprisingly gentle. And when the chick chirped for food, Whiskers would nudge Agnes's hand, a clear indication that it was time for another feeding. Agnes, touched by this unexpected display of maternal instinct, named the chick Sunny, a tribute to its bright yellow fluff and the ray of hope it brought into her life. Sunny, in turn, thrived under Whiskers' care, growing stronger and more active with each passing day. The chick would follow Whiskers around the farmhouse, its tiny legs wobbling as it tried to keep up with the cat's graceful strides. It would peck at Whiskers' tail, playfully tugging at her fur, and snuggle against her warm body for naps. Whiskers, despite her initial reservations about this energetic companion, seemed to relish her new role. She would patiently tolerate Sunny's playful antics, even allowing the chick to perch on her head or ride on her back as she explored the farmhouse. Agnes, observing this unusual bond, felt a warmth spread through her heart. The sight of the cat and the chick, two creatures from different worlds, brought a smile to her face and a lightness to her step. She found herself talking to them, sharing her thoughts and feelings, as if they were her own children. One day, as Agnes was preparing lunch, she noticed Sunny struggling to reach a breadcrumb that had fallen from the table. Whiskers, observing the chick's predicament, nudged the breadcrumb with her nose, pushing it closer to Sunny. Agnes gasped in surprise. She had never witnessed such a deliberate act of kindness from Whiskers, a cat known for her self-sufficiency and indifference to the needs of others. This small gesture spoke volumes about the depth of the bond that had formed between the cat and the chick. As the days turned into weeks, Sunny grew rapidly, its downy feathers gradually replaced by a coat of soft, brown plumage. It began to explore the farmhouse with more confidence, hopping onto furniture, pecking at curtains, and even venturing outside on sunny days, always under the watchful eye of Whiskers. Agnes, delighted by Sunny's progress, created a small enclosure in the yard where the chick could safely roam and peck at the ground, its tiny beak searching for insects and seeds. Whiskers would often join Sunny in the enclosure, basking in the sun or chasing butterflies, their companionship a source of joy for Agnes. This heartwarming bond between the cat and the chick brought a renewed sense of purpose and joy into Agnes's life. She felt a deep connection to these two creatures, their presence filling the void left by her late husband and reminding her of the simple pleasures of life. The winter days, once long and lonely for Agnes, now flew by in a flurry of activity. Caring for Sunny, alongside Whiskers, brought a renewed sense of purpose to her life. The farmhouse, once filled with the echoes of silence, now resonated with the cheerful chirping of the growing chick and the soft purring of the attentive cat. Agnes found herself observing the pair with a motherly fondness, marveling at their unique bond. Whiskers, the once aloof feline, had embraced her role as protector and confidant, her maternal instincts extending beyond the boundaries of her species. Sunny, in turn, seemed to view Whiskers as both a mother figure and a playful companion, their interactions a constant source of amusement and warmth for Agnes. One evening, as Agnes sat by the fire, knitting a tiny sweater for Sunny, she reflected on the unexpected turn her life had taken. The storm, which had initially brought devastation, had also delivered a precious gift, a reminder that companionship and love could be found in the most unexpected places. She watched as Sunny, now sporting a coat of sleek brown feathers, perched precariously on Whiskers' back, the cat patiently navigating the room with her feathery passenger. A smile touched Agnes's lips, her heart swelling with gratitude for this unlikely pair that had brought so much joy into her life. The next morning, Agnes awoke to a commotion in the yard. She peered out the window and gasped in surprise. A flock of chickens, their feathers ruffled and their clucking frantic, had gathered near the fence, their attention focused on Sunny's enclosure. Agnes rushed outside, her heart pounding with concern. She feared that the chickens, sensing Sunny's vulnerability, might pose a threat to the young chick. But as she approached the enclosure, she realized that her fears were unfounded. The chickens, instead of attacking Sunny, seemed to be welcoming him, their clucking taking on a softer, more inviting tone. Sunny, initially hesitant, cautiously approached the fence, chirping inquisitively. One brave hen, her feathers a speckled brown and white, hopped into the enclosure, her movements gentle and reassuring. She approached Sunny, her beak gently nudging the chick, as if offering a maternal greeting. Sunny, emboldened by the hen's friendly overtures, chirped excitedly, his tiny wings flapping in response. He hopped closer to the hen, snuggling against her warm feathers. Agnes watched this heartwarming scene with tears in her eyes. It seemed that Sunny, despite being raised by a cat, had instinctively recognized his own kind, his innate desire for connection transcending the boundaries of his unusual upbringing. Over the next few days, Sunny spent more and more time with the chickens, venturing into their coop, pecking at the ground alongside them, and even learning to roost on a low perch. Whiskers, though initially wary of this new flock, gradually accepted their presence, observing their interactions with a detached curiosity. Agnes, delighted by this turn of events, realized that Sunny was finding his place in the world, his identity as a chicken blossoming despite his unique upbringing. She felt a pang of sadness at the thought of Sunny eventually leaving her care, but she also knew that it was the natural course of things, a necessary step in his journey to adulthood. Spring blossomed across the Vermont countryside, painting the landscape in vibrant hues of green and gold. Sunny, now a robust young rooster, had fully integrated into the chicken flock. He strutted with a confident air, his crowing a surprisingly strong and resonant sound for his small stature. Whiskers, though still maintaining her role as protector, had relinquished her maternal duties. She often observed Sunny and the hens from a distance, a hint of amusement in her sapphire eyes. Occasionally, she would join them in the yard, basking in the sun or chasing butterflies, a silent observer of their feathered antics. Agnes, her heart filled with contentment, watched this harmonious coexistence with a sense of peace. The farm, once a place of quiet solitude, now bustled with life, the sounds of clucking hens and Sunny's proud crowing a constant reminder of the unexpected family that had graced her doorstep. One morning, however, this peaceful existence was shattered. Agnes awoke to a cacophony of panicked squawking and the frantic flapping of wings. She rushed outside, her heart pounding with dread, to find a scene of chaos unfolding in the chicken coop. A large hawk, its talons sharp and its eyes gleaming with predatory intent, had descended upon the flock, scattering the terrified hens. Sonny, brave despite his small size, stood his ground. His wings spread wide in a defiant stance, his shrill cries echoing through the farmyard. Agnes, her protective instincts surging, grabbed a broom and charged towards the hawk, her shouts echoing through the morning air. The hawk, startled by her sudden appearance, momentarily released its grip on a struggling hen and turned its attention towards Agnes. Whiskers, sensing the danger, darted from the porch, her lithe body a blur of motion. With a fierce hiss and a well-aimed leap, she launched herself at the hawk, her claws extended. The hawk, surprised by this unexpected attack, screeched in frustration and flapped its powerful wings, attempting to regain its airborne advantage. Whiskers, tenacious and fearless, clung to the hawk's back, her claws raking its feathers. The hawk, its flight disrupted, struggled to shake off its feline assailant. It swooped and soared, its powerful wings beating the air, but Whiskers held on with unwavering determination. Agnes, watching this aerial battle with bated breath, feared for Whiskers' safety. The hawk, much larger and stronger than the cat, could easily inflict serious injury. But Whiskers, fueled by her protective instincts, refused to yield. Finally, with a desperate maneuver, the hawk managed to shake off Whiskers, sending the cat tumbling towards the ground. Agnes gasped, her heart in her throat, but Whiskers, with remarkable agility, landed on her feet, a few ruffled feathers the only evidence of her daring feat. The hawk, its feathers disheveled and its pride wounded, circled the farmyard once before soaring away, defeated. Agnes rushed to Whiskers, scooping up the cat and showering her with praise and affection. Whiskers, though shaken, purred contentedly, her mission accomplished. She had protected her adopted family, her bravery a testament to the depth of her loyalty and love. The aftermath of the hawk attack left a palpable tension in the air. The hens, though physically unharmed, remained skittish, their clucking laced with anxiety. Sonny, despite his brave stand, seemed subdued, his usual exuberance replaced by a quiet watchfulness. Agnes, her heart still pounding from the close call, fussed over her feathered family, ensuring their safety and offering comforting words. She reinforced the chicken coop, adding extra wire mesh and securing the roof, determined to prevent another attack. Whiskers, the heroine of the hour, received extra attention and pampering. Agnes brushed her fur with meticulous care, rewarding her bravery with treats and cuddles. The cat, though seemingly unfazed by her aerial adventure, basked in the affection, her purrs rumbling like a contented engine. The incident, however, had a profound impact on Agnes. It served as a stark reminder of the fragility of life, the constant threat that lurked just beyond the peaceful facade of her farm. She realized that her idyllic existence, her newfound contentment, could be shattered in an instant. A sense of vulnerability settled over her, a fear that she hadn't experienced since the passing of her husband. She found herself constantly checking on the chickens, her presence a comforting anchor in the turbulent sea of Agnes's emotions. She would curl up on Agnes's lap in the evenings, her purrs a soothing balm to the old woman's troubled heart. One afternoon, as Agnes sat on the porch, lost in thought, a gentle voice startled her. It was Emily, her neighbor, a kind woman with a warm smile and a penchant for baking delicious pies. Emily, concerned by Agnes's withdrawn demeanor, had come to check on her. She listened patiently as Agnes recounted the hawk attack and the lingering fear that plagued her. Emily, with her usual wisdom and compassion, offered words of comfort and encouragement. She reminded Agnes of her strength and resilience, her ability to overcome adversity. She also offered a practical solution, a guard dog, a loyal companion who could protect the farm and offer a sense of security. Agnes, initially hesitant, gradually warmed to the idea. She had always loved dogs, but the thought of caring for another animal, especially one with such a demanding role, seemed daunting. Emily, sensing Agnes's reservations, offered to help her find the perfect dog, a gentle giant with a protective instinct and a loving heart. Agnes, her spirits lifted by Emily's support, agreed to give it a try. The search for a guard dog became a shared endeavor. Emily, true to her word, accompanied Agnes to various animal shelters and rescue centers, their quest fueled by a shared determination to find the perfect canine companion. They encountered a menagerie of dogs, boisterous puppies with boundless energy, timid souls with wary eyes, and aging veterans with gentle dispositions. Agnes, though drawn to the smaller, cuddlier breeds, knew that a larger dog would be better suited to protect the farm. One afternoon, they visited a local shelter nestled amidst rolling hills. The shelter, run by a compassionate couple with a love for animals, housed a variety of dogs, each with its own unique story. As Agnes and Emily toured the kennels, a particular dog caught Agnes's attention. It was a German Shepherd, its coat a rich sable brown, its eyes a deep and soulful amber. The dog, unlike the others who barked and jostled for attention, sat quietly in its kennel, observing the visitors with a calm and dignified demeanor. Agnes felt an immediate connection to the dog, its quiet strength resonating with her own resilience. She approached the kennel cautiously, extending her hand slowly. The dog, initially hesitant, sniffed her hand tentatively before licking it gently. Agnes's heart melted. She inquired about the dog, learning that it had been rescued from an abusive situation, its spirit wounded but not broken. The shelter staff assured her that the dog, despite its past trauma, possessed a gentle nature and a strong protective instinct. Agnes, her mind made up, decided to adopt the dog. She named him Bear, a tribute to his size and strength, but also a nod to the gentle giant within. Bear, overjoyed to have found a loving home, showered Agnes with affection, his tail wagging with unrestrained enthusiasm. The arrival of Bear brought a renewed sense of security to the farm. He patrolled the perimeter with a watchful eye, his presence a deterrent to any potential predators. The hens, initially wary of this large newcomer, gradually accepted him as their protector, their clucking losing its anxious edge. Sunny, now a young rooster with a confident strut, regarded Bear with a mixture of respect and playful curiosity. He would often follow Bear around the yard, pecking at the ground alongside him, their unlikely friendship a source of amusement for Agnes. Whiskers, initially apprehensive about this canine intruder, gradually warmed to Bear, recognizing his gentle nature and his loyalty to Agnes. They would often share sunny spots on the porch, their peaceful coexistence a testament to the harmonious atmosphere that now prevailed on the farm. Agnes, her heart filled with gratitude, reveled in this newfound sense of security and companionship. Bear's presence not only protected the farm but also eased her anxieties, his loyalty and affection a constant reminder that she was not alone. Summer arrived, casting a golden glow over the Vermont countryside. The days stretched long and lazy, filled with the buzzing of bees, the chirping of crickets, and the gentle rustling of leaves in the warm breeze. Agnes, her spirits lifted by the vibrant season, felt a renewed sense of peace and contentment. Bear, now a permanent fixture on the farm, had settled into his role as guardian and companion. He patrolled the fields with a watchful eye, his presence a reassuring deterrent to any potential threats. He had also become an indispensable part of Agnes's daily routine, accompanying her on walks, assisting with chores, and offering a comforting presence during quiet evenings by the fire. Whiskers, ever the independent spirit, maintained her aloof demeanor, but she had grown accustomed to Bear's presence, their occasional playful interactions a testament to their grudging acceptance of each other. Sunny, now a fully grown rooster, ruled the coop with a confident air, his crowing a familiar and welcome sound each morning. One sweltering afternoon, as Agnes was tending to her vegetable garden, A sudden wave of dizziness washed over her. She stumbled, her vision blurring, and collapsed onto the soft earth. Bear, sensing her distress, rushed to her side, his worried barks echoing through the quiet afternoon. Agnes, her consciousness fading in and out, vaguely registered Bear's frantic barks and the concerned clucking of the hens. She felt a warm, furry body pressing against her, a comforting weight amidst the swirling darkness. When she regained consciousness, she found herself in her bed, the familiar scent of lavender and sunshine filling her senses. Emily, her kind neighbor, sat beside her, her face etched with worry. Emily explained that Bear, with his persistent barking, had alerted her to Agnes's collapse. She had rushed over, finding Agnes unconscious in the garden. With Bear's help, she had managed to carry Agnes back to the farmhouse and call for an ambulance. Agnes, still weak and disoriented, was grateful for Emily's quick thinking and Bear's unwavering loyalty. She realized that Bear had not only protected the farm but had also saved her life. The doctor, after a thorough examination, diagnosed Agnes with heat stroke, a consequence of overexertion in the summer heat. He prescribed rest and hydration, assuring her that she would make a full recovery. Agnes, confined to bed rest, found herself reflecting on her life, her mortality brought into sharp focus by this near-death experience. She realized that her time on the farm, her peaceful existence with her animal companions, was precious and finite. A wave of sadness washed over her, a fear of leaving behind the creatures she had come to love so dearly. She worried about Whiskers, her faithful companion for so many years, and Bear, her loyal protector and newfound friend. But amidst the sadness, a spark of determination ignited within her. She resolved to cherish every moment, to savor the simple joys of life on the farm, and to ensure the well-being of her beloved animals, even in her absence. Agnes, though physically recovering from her heat stroke, couldn't shake off a lingering sense of unease. The incident in the garden had served as a stark reminder of her mortality, her vulnerability amplified by the solitude of her life on the farm. She spent hours contemplating her future, her thoughts swirling with concerns about the well-being of her beloved animals. Who would care for Whiskers, her faithful companion for so many years? Who would ensure the safety of the hens and the ever-vigilant Sunny? And what would become of Bear, her loyal protector and newfound friend? The thought of her animals ending up in a shelter, their familiar world disrupted, filled her with dread. She knew she needed to make arrangements to ensure their continued care and happiness, even in her absence. One evening, as Emily visited with a freshly baked apple pie, Agnes broached the subject that had been weighing heavily on her mind. She shared her concerns about her animals, her voice trembling with emotion. Emily, with her usual empathy and understanding, listened patiently, offering words of comfort and reassurance. She understood Agnes's anxieties, her deep-seated love for her animal companions. After a thoughtful pause, Emily proposed a solution that brought a glimmer of hope to Agnes's eyes. She offered to take in Agnes's animals, to provide them with a loving home on her own spacious property, should the need arise. Agnes, her heart swelling with gratitude, accepted Emily's offer, a wave of relief washing over her. She knew that Emily, with her kind heart and her own menagerie of rescued animals, would provide the perfect haven for her beloved companions. With her mind at ease, Agnes focused on her recovery, her spirits lifted by the knowledge that her animals would be well cared for, no matter what the future held. She spent her days enjoying the simple pleasures of life on the farm, her heart filled with gratitude for the companionship of her furry and feathered friends. One crisp autumn afternoon, as Agnes sat on the porch, basking in the warm sunshine, a familiar car pulled up the driveway. It was Sarah, her niece, a vivacious young woman with a warm smile and a contagious laugh. Sarah, who lived in the bustling city of Boston, had always held a special place in Agnes's heart. She was a reminder of Agnes's younger days, a link to the family she had lost touch with over the years. Sarah's visit brought a renewed sense of joy and connection to Agnes's life. They spent hours reminiscing about old times, sharing stories, and catching up on each other's lives. Agnes, her heart filled with warmth, realized that she was not as alone as she had thought. As the days passed, Agnes and Sarah's bond deepened. Sarah, captivated by the peaceful rhythm of life on the farm and the heartwarming companionship of Agnes's animals, found herself drawn to this rural haven. One evening, as they sat by the fire, Sarah proposed an idea that took Agnes by surprise. She offered to move to the farm, to share Agnes's life, and to help care for the animals. Agnes, her eyes brimming with tears of joy, accepted Sarah's offer, her heart overflowing with gratitude for this unexpected gift. She realized that her fears of loneliness and isolation had been unfounded, that her life was richer and more fulfilling than she had ever imagined. With Sarah's arrival, the farmhouse buzzed with a newfound energy. Laughter filled the rooms, replacing the quiet solitude that had once reigned. Sarah, with her youthful enthusiasm, breathed new life into the old farmhouse, her presence a constant source of joy and companionship for Agnes. Together, they tackled the daily chores, their shared laughter echoing through the fields. Sarah, eager to learn the rhythms of farm life, embraced every task with enthusiasm, her city-bred awkwardness gradually giving way to a newfound confidence. Whiskers, initially wary of this new human presence, gradually warmed to Sarah, accepting her affectionate strokes and playful cuddles. Bear, ever loyal and protective, welcomed Sarah into the fold, his tail wagging with approval. Sunny, the rooster, seemed unfazed by the change, his crowing as confident and resonant as ever. The hens, however, took a particular liking to Sarah, often following her around the yard, their clucking a constant chorus of approval. Agnes, her heart overflowing with gratitude, watched this harmonious coexistence with a sense of contentment. She had found a new family, a loving community that filled the void left by years of solitude. Sarah, with her infectious energy, brought a fresh perspective to the farm. She introduced new ideas, suggesting improvements to the garden, organizing the cluttered attic, and even teaching Agnes how to use the internet to connect with distant relatives and friends. Agnes, embracing this technological advancement, discovered a whole new world of communication and information. She reconnected with old friends, shared stories with family members she hadn't seen in years, and even joined an online community of cat lovers, exchanging anecdotes about Whisker's quirky personality. One evening, as Agnes and Sarah sat by the fire, sharing a pot of herbal tea, Sarah proposed an idea that sparked a new wave of excitement. She suggested opening the farm to visitors, offering educational tours and workshops on sustainable living and animal care. Agnes, initially hesitant, gradually warmed to the idea. She had always enjoyed sharing her knowledge of farming and animal husbandry, and the prospect of connecting with others who shared her passion filled her with enthusiasm. Together, they transformed the farm into a welcoming space for visitors. They created educational displays, organized interactive workshops, and even built a small petting zoo, where children could interact with the gentle hens and the ever-amiable bear. The farm, once a place of quiet solitude, became a hub of activity, filled with the laughter of children, the curious questions of visitors, and the shared passion for nature and animals. Agnes, her heart brimming with joy, realized that her life had taken an unexpected but fulfilling turn. Life on the farm had blossomed into a vibrant tapestry of shared experiences and unexpected joys. Agnes, her heart brimming with gratitude, embraced this new chapter, her days filled with purpose and laughter. The farm, once a sanctuary for her solitary existence, had transformed into a haven for learning and connection. Visitors, young and old, flocked to the farm, eager to experience the simple pleasures of rural life and learn about sustainable living and animal care. Agnes, with Sarah by her side, shared her knowledge and passion, her weathered hands guiding eager learners in the art of gardening, her gentle voice weaving tales of animal companionship and the interconnectedness of all living things. Whiskers, the once aloof feline, had become the farm's unofficial mascot, her regal presence a source of fascination for visitors. Bear, the gentle giant, charmed everyone with his affectionate nudges and playful antics. Sonny, the rooster, strutted with an air of importance, his crowing a familiar soundtrack to the farm's daily rhythm. One crisp autumn afternoon, a group of students from a nearby school visited the farm. Agnes, with Sarah's assistance, led them on a tour of the grounds, explaining the importance of composting, the benefits of organic farming, and the delicate balance of the ecosystem. As they approached the chicken coop, a young girl, her eyes wide with curiosity, pointed at Sonny and exclaimed, "Look, a rooster, but why is he so friendly with that cat?" Agnes, seizing this teachable moment, recounted the story of Sonny's unusual upbringing, his adoption by Whiskers, and his eventual integration into the chicken flock. The children, captivated by the tale, listened with rapt attention, their faces reflecting a mix of wonder and admiration. Agnes, her heart swelling with pride, realized that her story, the story of an unlikely friendship and the enduring power of love, had touched the hearts of these young minds. She had planted a seed of compassion, a spark of appreciation for the natural world and the creatures that inhabit it. As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the fields, the children gathered around Agnes, their faces beaming with gratitude. They thanked her for sharing her knowledge, her stories, and her love for the animals. Agnes, her eyes twinkling with joy, watched as the children boarded their bus, their laughter echoing through the twilight. She felt a sense of fulfillment, a deep satisfaction in knowing that she had made a difference, however small, in the lives of these young learners. Winter descended once again, blanketing the Vermont countryside in a pristine layer of white. The farm, though quieter now with fewer visitors, exuded a cozy charm, the crackling fireplace casting a warm glow over the snow-dusted landscape. Agnes, her hair now streaked with silver, moved with a slower pace, her steps measured and deliberate. Sarah, ever attentive, offered a helping hand, her presence a constant source of support and companionship. Whiskers, now a senior cat, spent most of her days curled up by the fire, her purrs a gentle rumble against the backdrop of the crackling flames. Bear, his muzzle now frosted with age, remained a loyal guardian, his watchful eyes scanning the snow-covered fields. Sonny, his crowing a bit raspier with the passing years, ruled the coop with a seasoned authority, his flock of hens a testament to his enduring leadership. The farm, despite the hushed stillness of winter, pulsed with a quiet vitality, a testament to the enduring bonds of love and companionship. One evening, as Agnes and Sarah sat by the fire, sharing stories and sipping hot cocoa, a sense of peace settled over the room. Agnes, her gaze drifting towards the flickering flames, reflected on her life's journey, the unexpected twists and turns that had led her to this moment of contentment. She thought of her late husband, his memory now a gentle ache in her heart, a reminder of the love they had shared. She thought of Whiskers, her faithful companion through years of solitude, her presence a constant source of comfort. She thought of Sonny, the lost chick who had brought unexpected joy and laughter into her life, his unusual upbringing a testament to the boundless capacity for love and connection. She thought of Bear, the gentle giant who had not only protected the farm but had also saved her life, his loyalty and affection a constant reminder that she was never truly alone. And she thought of Sarah, her niece, whose arrival had breathed new life into the old farmhouse, her presence a beacon of hope and companionship. Agnes, her heart overflowing with gratitude, realized that her life, despite its share of sorrows and challenges, had been blessed with an abundance of love and unexpected joys. As the fire crackled and the snow fell softly outside, Agnes closed her eyes, a serene smile gracing her lips. She knew that her legacy, the legacy of love, compassion, and connection, would live on, woven into the very fabric of the farm, carried on by the animals she cherished and the people she held dear. The farm, bathed in the soft glow of winter twilight, stood as a testament to a life well lived, a sanctuary where love had blossomed in the most unexpected forms, a haven where hearts had found solace and spirits had soared.